25th anniversary Popcorn Forum Convocation extravaganza. We want to welcome you to something the likes of which has not been seen in Kootenai County for at least 25 years, and very likely will not be seen for the next 25. The poetry shouting contest today is going to be judged on two categories: technical merit, which involves the volume, the articulation, and pronunciation, and secondly on the artistic presentation, which involves the poetry selection, the performance presentation, and the dramatic interpretation. Each category will be judged separately. Judging is based by an impartial panel of those guys, and it's going to be judged on a scale of 1 to 10. As you may have seen in the Olympics, a lesser-known version of the poetry shouting activity. 10 being the highest score. Scores will be given to by each judge, and an average complete score will be composited from all judges. The judges will present their scores. The highest and the lowest scores will be dropped from consideration. The remaining 3 scores will be averaged to get the final score for the performance. The recorder for these scores, of course, is a trustee member who will be unsullied in her recording. Yes, and if there is a tie for technical merit, we will have a Shakespearean shout-off to break the tie. If that should become necessary, I will explain the rules at that time. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the first contestant for this particular event. Linda Erickson, a woman of words, connected to her terminal. Sometimes we speak of her as the terminal woman. She is so often connected with her computer. Is the secretary for the English department, so she may have an inside edge. She knows Ode to a Grecian Urn. She knows the articulation of division meetings. She knows that
duty is truth, truth is beauty, ready to do and ready to do it.
Here's Linda. The physics department did make one additional stipulation, which is not on the rule sheet, which is that the contestants must align themselves on a north-south axis using the official mechanism for so doing. So if you would please note that in your performances.
Howdy! Don't that just make the hair stand up on the back of your necks? Kind of like hog collars. Of course, I know we have no hog collars around here, but I saw in this morning's paper that our good dean of instruction learned to call sheep down in Kansas. And when I lived on the ranch over in Montana, those cowboys told stories about people who associated with sheep. I don't think they're true. Probably not true. Maybe once in a while. Now, something that is true is that Tony Stewart has been the driving force and inspiration behind the Popcorn Forum for 25 years. Why, just the other night at a board meeting, Chairman Norm Gissel asked Tony if anyone ever said no to him when he asked him to do something. I distinctly heard somebody in the room say, "Not and live." Tony warned me just yesterday that he always had the final word, so I'm in for it now. We do have a fine panel of judges today, distinguished. I am a little worried about one of them, though. That Dean of Administration, right over there, that man. He stopped by my office the other day and he said, "I've been waiting for years for somebody to bribe me." Is that so? Is that so? He asked me, was I going to be in the yelling contest? What do you suppose he meant by that? The president keeps turning me down for a raise, but I told him if I won, I'd take him out to dinner. Speaking of the president, he knew I was going to make a little remarks here before the yelling commenced. So I imagine he's getting pretty nervous about now. member of the popcorn committee, I was asked by Tony Stewart to convince the board of trustees to let us have this yelling contest. I told him what a champion bunch of yellers we have here amongst the administrators. I know, I've heard of it. And the press is the best of the bunch.
Yeah, they all got.
Naturally, they wanted to hear it for themselves. So here we all are. Well, I'm all warmed up and raring to go. Are you all ready? Yeah! Cowboy poetry! Time for reading off that top! Odes or sonnets, all that rot! My epic pentameter gives me a pain! Trochaic feet can freeze my brain! Reconstruction, deconstruction, give me a break! Figuring it out makes my head ache. Can't understand Blake or Shelley. Wordsworth turns my belly. Enough of all this policy. Just give me cowboy poetry.
Judges, please give us your scores for technical merit. 7, 6, 6. A historian is still searching. 8, 7, 8. And the average is. We need to involve the math department in this, obviously. Does anyone have a calculator? Is anyone calculating? There we go. And the scores for artistic presentation. 7 for technical merit. 7, 8, 7. Fumble, 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 fumble. 7, 6, and a 7 for artistic presentation. While the judges record those scores, let us move to our second contestant, Chris Stein. Many of you will know. He is a member representing one of the 2 remaining clubs on campus. So, without further ado, the only person more formally dressed in the room than myself, I give you Chris the Stein.
Here is because my political science class, section 3, under supervision of Tony Stewart, was nice enough to volunteer me to do this on their behalf. Originally, I had written a poem last night, but this morning I decided it was just a tad bit too offensive, directed towards Tony, for volunteering me. So today I would like to do Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brilligan the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves in the mome rats outbreak. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the fumous bandersnatch. He took his woeful sword in hand, long time man's own foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through. His woeful blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, fabulous day, Callooh, Calais! He chortled in his joy. It was brilligan the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves in the mome rats outbreak.
Technical merit scores, please. Oh, first up is Mr. Bundy from history, 797999. And the scores for artistic presentation, 999999. Oldest servant eats her heart out. That's right. Our next contestant, as some of you may know, is a second member of the Board of Trustees, so there is no collusion between the scorekeeper and this participant. For those who do not know Norm Gissel, he is heavily involved in the community and is a man of loud words. He's a lawyer, and you know what they say, if you have 300 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean, it's a pretty good start. Here is Norm Gissel. Oh no, no, no. No.
This is from the Merchant of Venice. And there's only one merchant left in Venice, and when he found out that I was going to do this, he called and asked me not to do it. This piece is as if Captain Kirk were giving it. Spock! Spock! The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesses him that giveth and him that taketh away. 'Tis mightiest of the mighty. It becomes the throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above all the sceptered sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power does then like as God's when mercy seasons just. Beat me up, Scotty!
The trustees always have a plan, you know that. The scores for technical, 7, 10, 8, 10, 7, and 10. There's no coercion. They don't let a projector sign by. There's not a problem with that. And the scores for winner Gissel's artistic presentation, unbiased judges. 6, 1, 6, 1, 7, and 10. I should note for those who do not realize that the deans serve at the pleasure of the board, and they just one stroke of the pen and they're gone. So very little bias involved here at all.
Looks bad over here.
Looks bad over here.
I'll put the bad one down first. 8, 7, 5.
Now if I add 5 tens together, toss out 2 and divide by 3 for the 30 points that are left, how do I get 8 points? Stop it, never mind. That's not my job. But we have another contestant, and those of you on campus who will never see this person because he truly is an administrator, and so he has no connection with students whatsoever, which is surprising because he is the Dean of Instruction. Jerry G comes to us from a hog farm in Kansas, so he may have a built-in home court advantage. And I tried to think of something suitably reprehensible to say about Jerry G. But since I've never seen him around campus, I don't know much about him. So I'll simply have to say, here is our academic dean, the man of the hour, your friend and mine, I hope. There he comes, there he comes. He's a small man. You have to kind of squat down so other people can see him as he gets up here. It would have been better if we'd had Juergens coming up to do this and him scoring, because Juergens' head we'd have certainly seen with the lights out there. is the forehead next to Bundy's, by the way?
Before I do my poetry, I think it's extremely important that we look at the educational value of this entertainment. I was led to believe that this was a poetry yelling contest. The sign denoted it was poetry shouting. I think it's important that we distinguish between the two. Having grown up in the Midwest, close to hogs, and knowing full well the benefit of rural life and the activities that are associated with it, where I grew up, poetry yelling was a common occurrence, along with goat roping and wild cow milking. The finer people in poetry yelling realize that yelling is a technique that you use that is a soothing, loud expression. Most of us were yelled at as young children when we were down the road a mile or two and our mothers wanted us to come home. That's yelling. Shouting is when you're confronting someone, usually in anger. Poetry should never be shouted. Hollering, on the other part, is something that you do when your dog is 2 miles down the road digging up someone's flower bed. That's hollering. I am equipped to do poetry yelling in the purest sense and form. When Tilly ate the chili. When Tilly ate the chili, she erupted from her seat. She gulped a quart of water and she said, and fled screaming down the street. She coughed, she wheezed, she sputtered, she ran totally amok. She set a new world record as she raced around the block. Tilly's mouth was full of fire. Tilly's eyes were red with tears. She was smoking from her nostrils. She was steaming from her ears. She cooled off an hour later, showing perfect self-control, as she said, "What tasty chili! I should like another bowl."
Score for technical merit. 8, 9. Something and 9. 7 and 9. You can always count on the dean to be a gas, can't you? He's been there, we know that. And the scores for artistic, what's it? 7, 8, 7, 9, 8, and 8. Very good, very good.
I hope they have a chance. I know.
The dean, by the way, in all of his spare time, was also able to cook up the winning batch of chili at the campus chili eating contest we had last semester, which seems really suspicious, but I don't know. Our next contestant is someone who has long-standing connections to the campus. Gil Burns is a gentleman who has, the father was a board of trustees, and he is the brother of Jim Burns, who retired a couple years ago as the head of our biology department. So he has certainly had an ample opportunity to observe what this campus treasures in its poetry yelling over the years. And so we invite you now to come up, if you would, Gil, and join us for this festive moment. Oh, here we go. Mr. Burns was a music teacher, so he still had excellent students. As Emeritus Yeller, I'm going to offer the microphone to Mr. Burns. You don't want it, okay? You can handle it on your own. Excellent.
I can't follow that, they're just too good, you know. But I don't know anything about this, and I just decided I would come down instead of the poetry contest. So I'm going to read you what I've written. It's about Coeur d'Alene, and so I think maybe you'll like it anyway. I won't try to compete with them, I'll just read the poem to you. It's called Death and Taxes. Get out the axes. Late in November, I went out to get my mail. A light snow coated the trees like frosting on a cake, and the sun still glistened on the lake. The mail had come, and I inspected the letters, periodicals, and papers one by one, putting aside those that needed further attention, like bills and cries for money, jackpots I had won. When that was done, I saw letters from G&E. My tax bill had come. With trembling hands, I cut the seam. What a surprise! I could not believe my eyes. A 20% raise in taxes. Get out the axes. Get me back magazine. The assessors, the treasurers send us Christmas greetings. Have a nice day, they say. Lord, give me back, take me back to 92. I thought that was bad, but this is sad. It brought tears to my eyes. Wait until you hear the screams and cries. Then I heard the phone ringing. My sister Ruth. Did you get your tax bill yet? She cried. Yep, I said. How much was it? Don't know, I lied. Didn't you look up yet? Nope, I replied. Why not? I'm waiting to get up my nerve. Goodbye, she said. Of course, Jeannie, I'm only kidding. It ain't your fault. You're only the fall girl during our bidding. All of us pay taxes too. We talk a lot about crime and don't want to spend another dime for police and firemen, roads and bridges, potholes, fixers. Some say pay for it with steamboat gambling, showboats on the Joe, the Coeur d'Alene, the Spokane. Man, would that be fun, spending our money on the run. No tax and spend till the end. If you want to be fancier, housewives could moonlight as can dancers. The city has grown, streets are highways crowded. We need buses, houses, men and women are working, not shirking, extra shifts and Saturdays, even holidays. If you want someone to blame on the orneriness, try the Californians. Extra money in your pocket, buy your wife a diamond locket. No wife? Well then just sock it. An unknown poet said, it's no use to grumble and complain. When God sorts out the weather and sends rain, why rain's my choice. Guys, folks, we ain't going to get something for nothing.
Well, we do get something for something, that's true. Wise words. Wisdom comes to us in many forms. Our tax bill only comes in one. Damn. Anyway, let's have the scores for Gil Burns. Technical merit 7, 7, 8, 7, 6, and 6. And the artistic expression scores. Fumble, fumble, fumble. Fumble, fumble. 8, 8, 7, 10. Fumble, fumble, 7, 9. In late breaking news events, we have a cancellation and a reinsertion.
I don't know. I think you should.
We have another one after this. We are, this could become a group activity before long here. I have a 1 o'clock class, so I'm leaving. The next person needs no introduction. In fact, the first presenter introduced him. Dr. Bennett is the president of North Idaho College, as you know, and he is probably best known to you students for advocating at the board's meeting last Wednesday the 25% tuition increase for next year. So be sure to thank him for that as he comes up to make his presentation. Here he comes. Do we have a clear-cut winner yet? Okay, the stage is yours.
I've done a lot of things since I've been here. I've had water balloons thrown at me. I've been other places where they've thrown pies, and frankly, I'd almost rather have that being done than to do this.
We can arrange that.
I had a hard time.
Pearl, bring out the pies.
This guy's dangerous with the mic. The poem I chose is called The Dignity of Labor. I don't know why I chose this, because it just was one that was in a book and I didn't like the others that had been given to me. At least I didn't think they were right for me. Labor raises honest sweat. Leisure puts you into debt. Labor gives you rye and wheat. Leisure gives you nothing to eat. Labor makes your riches last. Leisure gets you nowhere fast. Labor makes you bed at 8. Leisure lets you stay up late. Labor makes you swell with pride. Leisure makes you shrink inside. Labor keeps you fit and primed. But give me leisure anytime.
Always the president's job to represent the tone of the campus, and I think he hit it right on the head. Technical merit, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, and an 8. And a rapid reshuffling for the artistic scores. And the artistic scores, judges. 6, 7. It's frozen, but you can have one. And we have the scores. I lost track there. Our final contestant, who I have not had a chance as a late addition to gather any dirt on, so anyone want to say anything bad about Barb Davis, please stand up right now and just shout it out. All right, here she is, our final contestant.
A famous dog once came to town. The stranger's name was Pete. His pedigree was 5 feet long. His feet were hard to beat. And as he waddled about the town, it was beautiful to see his work on every lamppost and his work on every tree. For he never missed the gateway and he never missed the post. For piddling was his masterpiece and piddling was his boast. And just to show those city dogs he didn't give a damn, he walked into the grocery shop and he piddled on ham. He piddled on the onions and he piddled on the floor. When the grocer kicked him came out, he piddled on the door. And all the time those city dogs had neither wink nor grin, so Pete decided to hold a piddling carnival to show the stranger in. They took him to all the piddling posts they knew about the town, and Pete was with them, full of vigor and a vim, for 1,000 piddles more or less were all the same to him. And on went noble Pete, with hind leg lifting on. Some were lifting legs of lust, and others were piddling dry. And on went noble Pete, piddling every sandhill, that each and every city dog has been piddled to a standstill. Then Pete an exhibition give in every way to piddle, with a fancy flip, a double drip, a nod, and a trickle. And all the time those city dogs neither winked nor grinned, so Pete kindly piddled out of town as he had piddled in.
Thank you, Barb. Those inspirational words. I don't know. It's things like that, though, that if you keep them in your mind, will get you ready for final exam. The scores, please, for technical merit: 10, a 9, a 9, a 10, a 9, a 9. And the last shall be first, it says in the good book. And the score for artistic merit. Let's call for the technical again. There's been a technical foul. Was Bundy asleep again? 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9. And once more, let's look at the artistic merit. 10, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10. Well, after Barb's piece, it's almost as though we need an intermission, isn't it? Well, do we have the winners ascertained? We would like to have we totaled these up? Now, I'm in English, so I'm not going to do those numbers when there are prizes involved.
Dean's in leisure, so he can't help you.
Dean's in leisure, so he can't do it. Where is the dean when you need one? They're always good with numbers. The prizes for our contestants today, we have official booby prizes. We have, for each of the contestants, the family-sized bottle of Listerine Cool Mint, which is designed to help with gingivitis, bad breath, and poor selection of poetry. And while the judges are compiling their scores, maybe I could read to you from the second prize we're awarding the contestants. It's a book of the wit and wisdom of Bob Dole. Well, the scores will be ready momentarily. Do we have the, for those who have been curious, north seems to be that way for the compass reading. Okay.
How come your friend decided not to do it? I'll do just fine.
Okay. And the winner is first place to Barbara Davis. Would you come forward, please, Barbara? Would all the contestants please come forward and claim your winner with them, Bob Dole? Norm Gissel in second place. And Gil Burns sneaking in for a third place finish. Oh. Is this Chris Stein?
Sorry, Norm.
Hey, I'm going to announce Norm as he's my boss. What can I say? Okay. And Dean is looking for a job now, by the way, so. Chris is second, first, second, and third.
Oh.
Okay. The pressure is so great. Barb, our heartfelt congratulations to you. We'd like to say thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said. And could we have all the contestants please come up? I want to award Chris your second place prize. And Jerry G is third place. Okay. So it's second and third. You're welcome. Enjoy that reading. And our third place is going to someone. Congratulations, Dean. I guess you clean up your accent. Don't forget this. It's going to be a, okay. Erickson, thank you.